Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Friday Fortnite 20K. Of course, Week 8 action will continue as we're hopping in here toward our loser semifinal matchup. We've got Ninja and Hysteria going up against CouRage and Cizzorz. Of course, myself, Landon Lano Sinners, joined alongside by Taylor Reflections Noble and Ryan, a.k.a. Ryan Fools. Boys, it's about to be an interesting game, and taking a look at our landing zones, anything to take note of off the break?
Yeah, we got retail coming in from CouRage and Cizzorz, which, hey, I'm excited to see just that. But, of course, it looks like we have a very slow, shifty shafts drop for the men of Ninja and Hysteria. But, of course, they have been opting to go to this spot quite often throughout the match. And, of course, already off the break, we see Ninja getting a nice little knock there with the sub, as well as he has that gray tack.
Indeed he does. The gray tactical machine gun, which we've seen a few players, right, in our past tournaments do some work with it. And in Ninja's hands, I think he could pretty much pull off anything. I think if he even had like a jump pad, he'd somehow find a way to kill somebody. But looking on here, as I actually have to continue on with Ninja's perspective, having constant players in the mine, trying to find as many as he possibly can. There's two, there's three. This would be a full squad wipe, and just like that, Ninja 4 kills toward his arsenal off the start. I was going to bring up and say the aggressive play versus the more passive play, meaning that we see Ninja and Hysteria and shifty shafts, while Cizzorz and CouRage are sitting in a very well-populated place like Retail Row, but it's been anything but the opposite of that. More action and shifty compared to Retail this time.
Yeah, Shifty has seen to serve Ninja and Hysteria quite well throughout this tournament. I mean, they come in here, they usually get at least a squad wipe, and they're able to rotate through Tilted, which obviously is working out in their favor. Of course, CouRage and Cizzorz just coming off of that win, which that was I liked it. I have to say, Cizzorz really performed extremely well in that last one. We finished with, what, about 15 total, no, 16 kills, I believe it was, towards the end. Of course, CouRage, I believe, had 4, finished with a total of 20 at the very end of it. So, gotta say, very impressed overall by his style of play and just how he performs overall. CouRage has been playing phenomenally well too, but I know Ninja was kind of scoping out the competition before that when I was in the back room while you guys were on. I was watching. Ninja and Hysteria were both watching CouRage's stream, trying to get the little strats, find out what are they doing that we can capitalize on.
I want to point out, actually, in that last Ninja play, I don't know if anyone else noticed, there was basically 3 people in front of him shooting, and there was no builds. They were underground where you couldn't build, you couldn't do anything. He had to basically just outmaneuver and showed great composure, hitting pretty much every shot, like I said, with that trusty gray tag. So great plays by Ninja to stay alive, because, 3 kids in front of you with no way to build or play defense, and to get all 3 of them, that's a big play that could have really turned the tide of the round.
And the odds it's possibly a stream sniper as well. It's like, oh my God, it's Ninja, there he is.
It was a John Wick too, man. You know, those guys are Superman in this game. So
they absolutely
are. John Wick, just turn around, brother.
That's facts. That is absolute facts. But I believe at the same time that we're highlighting Ninja's play, even going back to him as well, just takes down a casual enemy on that orange bridge as he is just having 27s pop up like it's nobody's business, man. What, constant? Okay. All right. Well.
All right. He's just showing off at this point.
Yeah. That's It's fun to watch something that you can never accomplish and just be like, wow, that's really impressive. That is something I will never do. But I believe along with the nice little assistance coming in there from Ninja, Hysteria also gets the knock, of course, being the aggressor in this situation while Ninja kind of plays support and kind of fires back from afar.
Yeah, it's funny because going back to when we had Ribs on stream whenever he was commentating, I said, Ribs, how do you feel watching these matches? And he says, well, honestly, it's quite depressing. And I was like, why? Why is it depressing? He says, well, because I'm an aspiring, I want to potentially go pro or at least be competitive in this field. And I'm watching these players play like Ninja, just ding players left and right with whatever weapon they have. And he's like, man, they're good. I mean, and it goes without saying, they really are good. And we've seen them improve so drastically over the span of these Friday Fortnites. Of course, on week 8, it just gets better and better over time. And, you know, it slowed down a little bit for Ninja and Hysteria, but it's starting to heat back up. We see 5 and 2, making that 7 for Ninja and Hysteria. But on the other end, we have CouRage and Cizzorz. Now, they managed to pick up at least 4 kills coming out of Retail, but here at Dusty, hopefully they'll be able to find some future engagements, because if not, they're going to start falling behind. But, you know, we do see Ninja and Hysteria, though, working their way back to shifty shafts and then maybe over towards Tilted. But I'm kind of curious as to why they made their way back over to shifty.
I was going to say, I'm not sure why they went back to shifty. They already killed all the players that were over there. They made their rotation, and now they're just kind of rotating back. I'm not sure if they're maybe going for more mats for the late game. It's an interesting decision.
Yeah, definitely kind of untypical, that's for sure. But does back up and thankfully finds a gold from Moss off the ground. So at least there's one positive, regardless of the mat discussion that we can obviously bring up. But yeah, I guess there's some excess areas that haven't been fully discovered and going to kind of make their way through here. But speaking alongside the opposite team, we talk about one squad kind of remaining consistent, not really moving too much. That squad happens to be in the lead. Well, we've credited CouRage and Cizzorz by being the aggressors in Retail Row. They escape out of that overall city with only 4 kills, and now they're advancing themselves into Salty Springs. So definitely you could argue, based off the location covered, Ninja and Hysteria are looking great, right? They've maybe covered like 60, 70 meters overall, or maybe a little bit more than that, but not too much of a play, yet they're in the lead despite CouRage and Cizzorz going to 2 massive areas and only having four kills total.
Yeah, based on what Ninja's doing right now, too, he's doing a ton of farming and gets blessed with a grenade launcher, which obviously we know how good he is with a grenade launcher, kind of side note, but he's doing a ton of farming for mats, and I mean, I think it's a pretty smart play. You have the lead. It looks kind of weird that he's going back kind of where they started, but if you enter the late game with a lot of mats, I mean, how many times have we seen players getting these crazy build battles in these solo squad matchups and run out of mats, right? And then from there, if you have 4 players shooting at you and you can't defend yourself, kind of puts you in a world of hurt. So, I mean, while they have the lead, obviously CouRage and Cizzorz aren't doing a ton to put the deficit back up, so he has a free couple minutes to farm. Meanwhile, as we say that, CouRage and Cizzorz are pushing, looks like 4 players right now.
Yeah, this is their opportunity to try to get back in the kill column. It looks like Cizzorz was definitely firing down on quite a few innings when it came down to the zoom, as we like to call it. But nice little play there. She's going to find a few excess frags. I believe CouRage takes down 2 while Cizzorz finds the 3rd. So that's going to be nice when it comes down to their overall play. But take a look on the top left of your screen, gentlemen. We're making our way toward Tilted Towers as well for Ninja and Hysteria. Of course, like Ryan mentioned, the tie game. This is a pretty risky call when it comes down to a Ninja and Hysteria, not known for making their way toward Tilted quite a bit of the time, but when you're going shifty shafts, it's almost a matter of time when you're going to Tilted Towers, Taylor.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to make your way over to Tilted. That's just the natural rotation from shifty, and it seems to be working out as Hysteria does, in fact, pick up a knock. Of course, we do see some grenades coming in. He's got to watch out for that slow damage, and I'm talking about Ninja, in fact, who picks up the thirst, and he's going to get some much-needed loot as Hysteria as well is going to pick up a kill himself as they're looking to kind of take off with the score, sitting at a total of 10 here. As we'll see more will, in fact, and we now see, once again, Hysteria is, in fact, going to have that thermal in his back pocket. But as I say that, CouRage, though, tearing up the competition, manages to pick up another kill himself, putting him at 5. So we're going back to back between the 2 teams. And got to say, very interesting. We're seeing now CouRage, they land retail, they go through Dusty,
right.
They go through Salty, and now they're at Fatal.
Yeah, they're covering a lot of ground, and to be honest, like not that the turn hasn't been there, but you think about going to those 4 cities, escaping with 8 frags, you could argue that going to one of those locations should give you 8, let alone going to 4 total locations in itself. So definitely kind of surprising, but regardless of the current line side as far as locations are considered, right now it looks like we're going to see Ninja and Hysteria go ahead and dip out Tilted Towers, which, you know what, I actually like that. Like the one thing that I see a lot of the times when it comes down to players regarding zones like this is, hey, like Tilted Towers is nice, but it's kind of like a funnel, right? You don't know when all those enemies are going to kind of be coming forward. Also, with the zone kind of at their backside, they can kind of play that very aggressive gatekeeping role and kind of be wary of the players kind of coming toward the eastern side of the map. So essentially for them, right, they have a very wide open position to kind of challenge from, maybe getting guys from the northern parts of Tilted Towers as well. I think they're in a pretty good spot, and I like the play to not necessarily always stay in Tilted, but to try to use Tilted to your advantage. There's been a lot of guys who want to go there. It's just a matter of when and what time.
Definitely so. They push out of Tilted and end up with an engagement, as you see now on the Ninja, just trying to ding those shots. But unfortunately, I believe there is another team battle going up there, and that means frags are not going to be in the hands of Ninja and Hysteria. As we see the thermal came out for Hysteria. He did get a ding shot, but unfortunately worked against him as one of his opponents was able to get that kill. So they are, in fact, going to be in hot pursuit, and I like the aggression coming from them, pushing up, and see if they'll be able to take over this kill course. Going for that high ground is, in fact, going to be Hysteria.
Ooh. One thing I wanted to point out from Tilted, even though they didn't get as many kills as you'd like, one huge detail that I think is so big is actually Ninja upgraded his grenade launcher from a blue one to a purple one. And we know how strong that freaking thing is, and we know how good he is with it. So that could pay dividends going down, and I mean that wholeheartedly.
Ryan is very intent on everyone knowing that the
Ninja
grenade launcher
best.
in Ninja's hands is almost like a nuke.
I mean, we were calling the bounce thing the Ninja shot, right? Like that should say enough. He also has the gold FAMAS, which, by the way, he makes look insane, right? Obviously, the burst guns. If people like that,
prefers those.
People don't think that the distance is that strong, but in a player like him, if you can hit the whole burst shot, just we say that he comes behind 2 players right now. This should be 2
There's
easy
a bush.
kills. We see as my shirt says a bush Wookiee to come eat alive.
I think was that a Omega and a bush? I think I can maybe count on one hand that many times that I've actually seen that strategy. But hey. Glowing from a bush, obviously, the burning bush. Ninja's quickly going to take that one down as they're going to leave a few things behind. Why? Because they're so well kitted up, they really can't take as much resources as they'd like to when it comes in the latter parts of this game. But they're sitting pretty solid overall at 15. Yeah, 15 frags in total, 4 kill advantage when we come down to the scheme of things. But CouRage and Cizzorz right now having an engagement in their front side. Of course, kind of gatekeeping as well, just on the outskirts of Dusty Divot. A few shots, though, in the side for CouRage. Needs to be very wary of his overall positioning. Of course, has his teammate just alongside of him. Cizzorz going to go for the rush. I believe maybe even rocked a jump trap to get there, but players from all which angles, CouRage quickly needs to go for a little bit of the shields. Make sure he's good to go when it comes down to these engagements, but still I believe Cizzorz does pick off that team, or at least is still in hot pursuit of trying to find them, but looking on from the backside, Cizzorz is in a little bit of an awkward spot for the time being.
Yeah, and the thing is, I just want to point out once again, Ninja and Hysteria, really, they've only moved about 100, 200 meters. This is the furthest away they've came from, or at least got from Shifty Shafts.
Are they going back to Shifty?
They look like they've literally gone back and forth. I think the furthest they got was the river. They went down to the river and for some reason turned around, but it worked out for them, which obviously it's showing, right? They're sitting at a total of 15 kills versus the 13 now on the right side of CouRage and Cizzorz, but still very close. And I think this is the the least amount of movement we've ever seen from Ninja and Hysteria. Typically, they like to hit up those outskirts and kind of rotate through and hit up as many places as possible, which you think, statistically speaking, the more ground you cover, the more engagements you should get in. However, showing in this, at least this perspective here, seems like you don't have to move very far to keep the lead.
I think they're just homesick, man. Just wanted to get home.
They love their Shifty Shafts. I mean, hey.
Back to the crib.
Absolutely, man. And obviously treated them well in the past. Why not make it your own, to be honest with you? So
John Wick, he kills the best player in the game.
Nice elimination there.
Yep.
Of course, I believe looking at Hysteria's screen. Yeah, Storm starts to come through, as I believe 3 of 4 of our players actually in that Storm, and Hysteria the only one currently out of that particular situation, not getting rained on in this particular point of view. But
he's just a forward thinker.
He is.
Just sees a step ahead,
That's the thing. You got to get out of that Storm, right? And Hysteria knows this is, in fact, true. He's going to be building up, trying to get out of it. He looks like he does have a jump pad, so he'll be jumping out of there and trying to scope out his competition, see what his next victim is going to be.
We have a 1-kill game right now.
We do definitely have a 1-kill game, and this is to be expected between these two, right? Ninja and CouRage have teamed in the past, and both phenomenal players, Face Cizzorz and Hysteria, both coming in and doing so incredibly well themselves and kind of matching each other's play style. I got to tell you, Hysteria, though, has been lighting up the kill feed, sitting at 7, Ninja at 11 himself. And, it's kind of nice to see Hysteria with that thermal in his inventory, because typically we see Ninja with the thermal kind of dinging shots in the back. So it's nice to see how Hysteria can kind of ding the shots himself. But you notice, I've talked about it in the past, Ninja and Hysteria, they like to switch up roles, and they've done just that. But to say that an engagement does go down, as Cizzorz will, in fact, find his next victim.
Hit a great hunting rifle shot
Gets a great shot there. Look how many engagements remain, boys. We only have 1 more, and we have a very close game.
Yeah, we do indeed, as it looks like still in the bottom left, Hysteria seeking out where the opposition could be at. He's got the thermal AR. If anyone's going to spot him, it would be him. But desperately trying to seek out where this final frag will be. But, well, of course, we wait for the Bush Wookiee to make himself present. We can kind of rely on the fact and thinking heading into this game number 2, how close it's going to be, right? It's going to be at least like a 1-2 kill game at the very most, rather, when we look at game number 2. I mean, we could argue maybe same landing positions between Ninja and Hysteria, like you mentioned, Taylor, kind of outskirts type of players. CouRage and Cizzorz, when it came down to this game, how much ground did they cover while going to populated locations? Retail Row, Dusty Divot, Salty Springs, Fatal Fields. I mean, they went almost everywhere just to kind of see a tie game.
Definitely so. And, this tie game is something that we wanted to see, especially between these two powerhouse teams. And it's only going to be a 1-kill difference going into the next round. But who will have that? That is the question. But whoever gets it, regardless, is not going to have too big of an advantage. So looking pretty good on both sides here, and kind of curious to see the landing spots between both sides. Wouldn't go without saying, as Hysteria has spotted a wild potato.
The easiest kill of the game.
Wild potato appears, and he takes him out. And that is, in fact, going to be a 1-kill lead going into the second game, as CouRage and Cizzorz. Cizzorz loves that new emote on the market. I believe it's called the Seagull.
The Seagull. Okay.
The Seagull.
Okay.
I mean, hey, it kind of works, I guess. I'm kind of imagining that with like maybe the in combination with a pterodactyl glider. I think that'd be kind of cool. Maybe like a dinosaur type of thing going. I don't really know.
So much dinosaur themed.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
something he does,
it's just something they do, It's kind of to be expected, to be honest with you, with the meteor coming in, right? The dinosaurs, meteor. I don't know. Little history lesson for you guys. The meteor killed the dinosaurs, and dinosaurs are...
Were you there?
I was there, actually.
I missed it. I slept in.
I'm getting old. Actually, you're older than me. Finally, for once, I'm not the oldest one on the couch.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
It is a great feeling, boys.
Talk about stats. I think we need to add that maybe to the stat book there. Just kind of get those notes written down.
I'm 26, but, man, my man's over here. How old are you?
I'm like 48 at this point. I'm getting old, man. This is crazy.
Already married. Jeez, he's got a house of his own.
Got a dog too.
He's got a dog.
Sheesh.
Very cute dog. Might I
do.
mention
My
as
dog
well.
is beautiful. Look at my Twitter.
That's true.
Just a little plug there. Look at his
Yeah.
Twitter. By the way, I'm Fallout. Nice to see you guys, and thank you for
With 2 T's.
With
How many T's?
Huh?
How many
2
T's?
T's. Fallout with 2 T's. You guys can follow me on Twitter. Got all the great stuff out there for whatever I provide on my Fallout Twitter.
Not to be confused with the game Fallout.
That's very true.
That
Of
is
course,
very
which
true.
is a
That's
great
why-
game. Great
That's why we
series.
added the extra T. But let's bring it back into a little perspective here. We got a 1 kill deficit coming in.
Yeah, right, Taylor?
you good Fallout?
I am Fallout. Hello.
Taylor Fallout Noble. There we go.
That is
it's
who
a
I
new,
am.
New gamer tag.
I am
you
no
know?
longer Reflections. I have
Okay.
upgraded to Fallout.
Upgraded. I think
you
is
ascended.
a fair estimate.
Very, very good looking man, I must say, by the way.
Yourself, or are you talking about Fallout?
I'm
or?
talking about Fallout.
I just assumed it was
Which-
me. Like,
Could be. Yeah.
No.
it usually is.
I mean, for your guys' ages, I think you're looking pretty good. You know.
I gotta say, for our ages, we look pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, no, I hit the gym a lot, as you can see.
I'm not really sure exactly how to transition this into the gameplay, so I'm just going to go ahead and say.
Oh yeah, Fortnite. Sorry, we're here Fortnite.
Hopping into the game really
Ninja,
quickly. Yeah. The Ninja and Hysteria obviously feel pretty good when it comes down to their overall gameplay. We talked about the mass amount of locations that the opposition went toward, and for it to only be a 1-kill game either which way is pretty noteworthy. I think when it comes down to the recency of Fortnite, thank you for the fun facts production, appreciate that. I think we
like
should honestly
this.
continue with that.
I'm laughing but
I'm
crying.
loving this.
I'm crying inside.
I like this.
Inside.
This is nice. Yes, I feel
F's-
good.
F's
We need
in
to
the
bring
chat,
you on more.
please.
Yeah, pay F for respect for Ryan
Yeah.
being the oldest on the couch.
It's true.
Brian Fools.
But regarding the game, right? Kind of, I think we're having a hard time trying to transfer into the game here.
Yeah, I started on like Atari.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So these graphics are amazing.
Anyways,
Anyways, back to
we
Fortnite.
just have a history lesson.
We have a
really
1-kill
quick,
lead
or,
in
Pong,
favor.
Pong was his Fortnite, ladies and gentlemen,
Sheesh.
back in the day. I just want to point out.
Hey, Pong Battle Royale. I'd be the best. All right. But no,
How would
honestly,
that- hold on. Can we just discuss like Pong Royale for a second?
imagine
Like,
a giant circle
That's exactly-
with all the paddles, and you just got to bang, 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 bang. I've thought about this before, if you haven't noticed.
I know. I
can
definitely
tell.
see it. I
Wow.
definitely see it.
That would
I
definitely
was
be,
innovative back in my youth.
Man, you killed it back then, man.
skill gap in that
Yeah,
game.
here
I feel
you
like would
are.
be so high.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
100%.
Just, yeah, absolutely insane. So thankfully, we can go ahead and transition to the game for real. Why? Because it's actually on our screens right now. But taking a quick look at the bus location, places like Tilted Towers, Salty Springs, Pleasant Park, etc., Retail Row, going to be your preferred locations when it comes down to the bus. Ninja and Hysteria enter in toward game number 2 of our loser semifinals with a 1 frag advantage. Question being, though, where the landing location is going to be based off Ninja and Hysteria's drop. It looks like they could be going toward their homeland, Ryan. Toward us.
Back to the crib, bro.
Yeah, toward
Shifty chefs.
Shifty Shafts, baby. But also, just received word. Want to give a massive shout out to our viewers. We've officially hit 100,000 followers here on twitch.tv/UMG Events. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure to hit the follow button so we can even talk about 150,000 followers when it comes down to our page. But of course, all thank you to the viewers day in, day out, week in and week out for making these broadcasts possible. These wouldn't be happening. These tournaments wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you guys. So massive thank you to the viewers out there as well for hitting 100,000 followers, hoping for many more.
We see more static at Shifty Shafts. We might have to rename this Static Shafts. There's been so many more people than I expected here, and it's just playing right into Ninja and Hysteria with their lead.
And with that being said, CouRage and Cizzorz, they're down 1 frag, and they opt to go over to Tilted. Now, why did they do this? Couple scenarios come through my head. Ninja and Hysteria, they know they're going to go Shifty, so maybe they're trying to cut them off before they can transfer over to Tilted.
Yep.
Maybe take some of those kills, but still, though, you got to be thinking that is a very risky move.
Oh, yeah, that's
for
very
CouRage
bold.
And Cizzorz, very bold play, but if it works out, Cotton, they could, in fact, take over the lead.
They could indeed. Like you said, very bold strategy. We'll see how it works out for them. And see what can kind of partake here.
The way I look at it, like it's high risk, high reward, right? Obviously, we always say that about Tilted Towers, and there's the opportunity to get a ton of kills. This is game number 2. I mean, you're playing against one of the favorite teams in the tournament. I like this play. I like putting kind of your money where your mouth is and saying, all right, if we're going to win this, like we're going to win it. Let's go to Tilted. Let's get the kills. Because right now we're seeing, again, Ninja and Hysteria pull more kills at Shifty Shafts than we've ever expected.
And you can even argue, right, after that first game is the nice little heavy shotgun
Great
comes
shot.
in there from Ninja. But, yeah, you maybe argue from CouRage and Cizzorz' point of view. It's like, hey, we literally went to every location but Tilted and somehow managed to bring this to a level playing field. That could be like a little bit of a frustration coming out, saying, hey, you know what, we're going to go Tilted, and we'll see how close we can make this game by going to the most prominent location in all of Fortnite. But, yeah, piggybacking off of that, so many players in Shifty Shafts as maybe Ninja and Hysteria making this play a lot more prominent. We talked about TSM, Salty Springs, kind of the FaZe guys, kind of promoting crates and whatnot. A lot of strategies being developed in Friday Fortnite. Of course, we talk about the amount of viewership that these tournaments get. A lot of the Fortnite community obviously echoes those sentiments and starts to write them strategies themselves.
Yeah, if I was CouRage and Cizzorz, yeah, we may have maybe, of course, we got that deficit coming in. We only have 2 kills. But then again, at this point, like I pointed out, the rotation obviously naturally has to be tilted. So Ninja and Hysteria, they're going to come in and kind of be finding those engagements that should have been, but CouRage and Cizzorz already picked them up. So I'm okay with the trade-off being, yeah, maybe we have come in, with a 1-kill deficit. We're down 2 as well. So maybe we're down by 3 total. But at the end of the day, we cut off Ninja and Hysteria's rotation. So at the, bottom line is they're going to be looking a lot better off, I think, at least heading into the middle game, which we are, in fact, getting into with a total of 52 engagements still remaining, or 53 engagements. So with that being said, great plays and great heads up on their part. It's still a close game. Anybody can take this.
Absolutely can. Like I said, Ninja and Hysteria, we talked about the counter coming through from CouRage and Cizzorz, making their way toward Tilted Towers. That was the one play where Ninja and Hysteria, you go toward 50 shafts. This is your ability to, once you kind of get kitted up, once you can find some frags to make your way toward this area. CouRage and Cizzorz, you could argue, have already cleared this position out. We'll see how many frags can be found and whether or not there's any rogue squads hanging about, as well as somehow Ninja happens to enter in toward the map and finds 2 chests off the break. Of course, going toward pawn shot, but just as we say that, I could have swore Cizzorz did not take any fall damage. Thought that he was looking a little bit scary in that spot, but thankfully we'll live to see another day.
Maybe a bounce pad? I mean, he fell from pretty far.
I didn't see any, like luminous lights around him or anything regarding that. But
no, I think, honestly, he just avoided the fall damage. If he just would have been a little bit higher, he
Thank
may
you,
have.
Taylor, appreciate
really?
Yeah, good insight. I know coming at you, that little stat nugget for you. But, yeah, I think if it was a couple inches higher, he definitely would have been a little bit of trouble, But I don't know. It's just something that he did, and it worked out for
sound analysis.
Love it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely love to see it, man.
Yeah.
You really do. Also, props to Ninja rocking the new skin. Personally bought that. Taylor, I know you try to refrain. Ryan, how about you?
I love the harvesting tool. I didn't buy the skin personally.
Sick. It actually sounds like a lightsaber whenever you use it.
I did buy the Vuvuzela though.
Okay.
The Vuvuzela.
Yeah.
Just because there's been a clear lack of Vuvuzelas in the World Cup this year. I think they got banned.
I think they did get banned.
They did.
So I mean, there's not been a lot of rebels in the stadium.
They got banned like 2 World Cups ago.
They did.
Hey, I'm like 48. Remember? So back in my day, they were allowed. So
that's funny, man.
But no. The skin's awesome. Like I said, I love the harvesting tool.
Well, I love the flames that comes out of it. I think, or at least it's maybe flames or electricity, one of the two. But I got to tell you, it looks really good.
Absolutely. But kind of getting back on the landing locations quickly, it looks like Ninja and Hysteria making their eastern way right now, just, of course, toward Tilted Tower, or eastern away side from Tilted Towers. As far as CouRage and Cizzorz are considered, I believe they're going to be, or actually just southeast of Loot Lake for the time being as well. So kind of being in mind of the overall kind of ending locations, as I believe a rogue player with a shotgun, or a shopping cart rather, happens to be about, and they could quickly get C4 trying to make their way around the tree, and Cizzorz is here to cut them down. Fantastic plays coming forward, and here comes a shotgun play. There's one, and there is 2. Both, I believe, actually, did they get stolen from Ninja? They do.
Got both of them. Ninja finessed both kills.
I look at the kill feed, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's going to be an amazing play probably coming in from CouRage. Not the case. Ninja, the kill-stealing man himself, quite literally living up to his name, happened to sprout up and take both of those frags.
And speaking of which, Ninja is the only one with frags on his side. He's sitting in a current of 6 total frags. And you talk about stealing kills at that point, so incredibly frustrating, but so absolutely necessary. So he comes in and takes it. And, of course, he looks like he might be in another engagement here. We're kind of trying to build up and get this little vantage point as he's going to be heading over into Dusty. But it looks like CouRage has the advantage pushing in. And there it is. He is, in fact, going to pick up that frag, putting him a total of 10 on the right side compared to the 6. So CouRage and Cizzorz, yes, they did get their stills stolen, but nonetheless, they're still leading the way. As we see now, they came in with a 1-kill lead with Ninja and Hysteria that puts them at 7. So right now they have a 3-kill lead overall.
And the one man that's not in all of those engagements happens to be Hysteria. We talk about the split coming through. Hysteria needs to go big, going for the edit, trying to take some shots on the other player. Will successfully take one down, but the fall damage could definitely spell for disaster. 83 HP in a dream, as it looks like Hysteria does successfully get another knockdown forward, but thankfully has those shields, only takes 20 HP off in that last shotgun blast. Still staying up, though. This is a big opportunity for Hysteria. After finding those knocks, solidified kills is exactly what he needs. And just like that, there's going to be 3 big ones just inside of Old Soccer from Hysteria. And that's fantastic. If you're in Ninja's shoes, the ability for players to not necessarily be next to the others, those engagements that no one is going to be able to see except for Hysteria's eyes only, and going big when he absolutely has to, as he comes through with 3 big kills.
That gives Ninja and Hysteria the lead back.
Yes, it
Just
does.
like that, we had CouRage with a 3-kill lead, and then Hysteria finally turns up, gets I think a squad of 4.
They got that 1-kill lead. And
Yep.
you know what? Honestly, I have to say, this is what I love about Ninja and Hysteria is both of them, they switch roles off, but they're not scared to split from each other as we see just that. Ninja will take some damage.
Yeah.
A little bit scary, but it's okay. He's going to push up, knowing what Ninja can do. He's going to get that height advantage, comes in with the double pump, or excuse me, he's got the heavy along with the pump in his back pocket, as I like to say. Comes in, takes in 3 to continue this lead, and of course
he's
frags.
continuing on, man.
He absolutely is, and he has to at this point. But I love the fact Ninja and Hysteria split up, as well as CouRage and Cizzorz. They're staying together, so obviously doubling your potential to pick up more frags.
Ninja does such a good job, by the way. Like, we talk about defensive building. I swear it's like an instant reflex with him when he ggets something shot underneath him to instantly put a platform down and save his life. If he doesn't put that platform down, he probably doesn't get any of those kills, and maybe even gets a lot of fall damage there. So his ability to have that quick reaction time and again to build on a defensive side is incredible. Yeah,
without question, probably one of the greatest recovery builders in the entire game of Fortnite, and of course sitting alongside some fantastic pros who are also very good at that stat liner, guys like Tfue, you could even argue like Myther Hamlins, etc., guys of that nature. But still, looking on, I believe a structure does get dropped. This is when we talk about the recovery building. Ninja showing off exactly why that's the case, having an enemy just in front of him toward the outskirts of Salty Springs, having a few engagers, teammates, opponents just on the outside of him for the time being, happens to get on the flank of one, having to be wary of his backside, trying to go for the challenges, but needing to go for the healing. He does have the Chug Jug. Is going to go ahead and rock this. Is going to take a lot of valuable time. The Stink Bomb comes forward, trying to escape. He's trying to breathe. As he just starts to back out, player is still just in front of him. Does he try to engage on it? And yes, he does get the knockdown, but does he go for the Chug Jug usage again? How much free time does Ninja have at the moment?
I don't think he has enough time at this point. He looks like he's going to go ahead and pop those minis, and wisely so. Just picked us off the dead body, but another Stink Bomb comes in.
1 HP.
Mind you, they only affect health, so he's at 1 HP. Another Stink Bomb comes in. He's in a lot of trouble. And with that being said, he goes down. Now, I talked about the split before. Ninja and Hysteria were widely split up, so now it's up to Hysteria to continue to lead. Mind you, this is
25 HP.
game 2. Now, but we have Cizzorz.
Oh, no. Hysteria's down.
Hysteria's down. No.
Hysteria gets eliminated, and just like that, CouRage and Cizzorz comes through with one big one. Of course, CouRage also gets knocked in a matter of moments. 3/4 of our players have dropped.
It's up to Cizzorz.
It
comes all down to this.
It is down to this moment. Cizzorz all by his lonesome. Of course, guys, trying to get a score update for you as quickly as possible to see how many kills are necessary. What exactly is the scoreline for right now? All relies on Cizzorz. This is his moment to try and prove himself. Of course, goes for the quick edit, trying to grab as much utility, as much health, as much resources as he can manage. Player just behind him. Keeping in mind, he has a great amount of mats. He has a great amount of kind of utility at his backside, but quickly trying to stay up and make sure he's set up for the late game.
I think he needs 4 or 5 kills.
6 kills.
Okay, 6
wow.
kills.
This is, I mean,
you
talk about
moment here.
A lot of weight on your shoulders. Now, down to 71 health and 9 shield. Of course, this team is unrelenting on his shoulders. He only has 4 minis. He doesn't have any bandages, so he's got to definitely watch out at this point. Edits out, comes down below, does spot a player, goes for the knock. Not able to get it, but finally able to successfully knock him out. Plus goes for the thirst, but he shouldn't have done that. There's going to be a player just above him. He's got to play this so incredibly perfectly. Being 6, now 5 total frags down. He's got to be careful. If you want Ninja,
he's going forward.
Or excuse me, yeah.
He had it. This is not good.
The unfortunate mishap on the excess, and unfortunately looks like the entirety of his fort happens to be exploding at the seams, trying to go for the quick edit. Can he find any of these kills? Having to stay alive, taking a little bit of damage here and there, but players are surrounding him. This is Cizzorz' opportunity. Goes for another knockdown. Here's another opportunity. No! Cizzorz drops, and just like that, so does their chance of moving forward. And Hysteria and Ninja will survive a barn burner, one that comes to the close. What an insane ending to that match. Cizzorz had it in his hands. He had so many players around him. It was all in his hands. But unfortunately for him, he will get taken down, which will in turn advance Ninja and Hysteria in the tournament.
Honestly, he looked like he was in the middle of like 2 or 3 teams of 4 because there was rockets coming in, there was grenade launchers, there was C4, there were bullets. It looked like a 50v50 game at that point. There was just explosions everywhere, and he had to go get 6 kills out of that mix. Incredibly hard to do. Obviously, didn't make it out alive.
Jeez, man.
Wow. What a match.